smoke on the key. Born where the oars beat, time counting coin before I could make my side. There are two kinds of gold I know. One I keep, one I bring back home. If it moves, I can make it mine by blade, by word, by careful design.
Alright there, your old mate Yorkie here. Welcome you to Campaign Chronicles, where I'll be taking a narrative play, a roleplay playthrough of strategic games. In this case, the Grand Strategy. Playing as Wanderlust, Crusader Kings 3. And here's a character we're running with. Sigrid at the Haven. Sigrid of the Haven. As best I can in her own words, they called me Sigrid at the Haven. The Haven being the coastal inlet in Jorvik, where they worked the ships and the storage yards. They said I was not educated, but I know the price of a man and of lumber too, and other things. I know to read enough to trade, but I rely on my ability to organise, whether it's men in a fleet or wares at the dock. Intrigue, well, that's for others, though I will twist the truth when needed. And diplomacy, if you have a contract, well then, I may listen. My marshal has built, because along with the more, shall we say, legitimate concerns, there are times I run with the gangs and I know how to organise them. And when I'm called on to fight, I'm not without my ways. But I know little of the rest of the world. I am as true by birth, but could I tell you one god from another? Perhaps not. Could I tell you the Farlands? No. And nor do I care to just yet. But I do yearn to travel. I do yearn to see beyond these shores. And so wanderer I will become. I trained in stewardship and became a fortune builder. My motto is that there are two types of gold in the world, that which is in my purse, and that which has not yet found its way home. They call me greedy, merely because I know the price of things and feel that I should own them. They are right to call me calm and ambitious. My will to see beyond these shores is to grow in profit, in luxury, and in strength. I have my fair share of suitors. They say I'm not the most beautiful woman in the world, but comely in my way. Sometimes it aids with gaining contracts. I have been called disloyal. I think that is a slur, personally. The truth is, I am perfectly loyal to anyone who's useful to me. And when it comes to judging their usefulness, I consider myself shrewd. My work at the docks, even my work with the gangs, made me an administrator by nature. Able to organise, able to shift things, able to make sure things are in their right place, even at a mere 21 years old. And so I set forth into the world to see what there is to see. Just starting out, of course, in Jorvik, as I said. Let's start. The roads we walk. The path ahead stretches on and on, a lonely winding thread, twining toward the distant horizon. My camp is quiet, just a few scattered tents and pack animals, yawning in the breeze. Strangers and hangers-on rise with the day, preparing for their morning chores with reluctance. Most of the miscellaneous chaff that flit in and out of a group on the road with each new settlement. New faces catch my as ones I recognise. At least, few faces catch my eye as ones I recognise, at least in more than passing. There are some who could be an army someday. There are some with whom I could build an empire, but I am not there yet. And there are some who enjoy a scrap. People who have run with a gang with me. Elfgar. Orc. Very strong in his way. Faithful blade. Gallant. A skilled tactician. He can be deceitful. I've caught him in lies plenty of time. And fickle. But he is generous. Sometimes. Much so. And Sigrid. A dishonourable villain, they call him. I'm not sure these are the people I should travel with. But those who could help me with the army, with the organising. Sigrid the Lame. 43 years old he is. Club-footed, aggressive attacker, and a skilled tactician. I don't mind his sadism, it can be entertaining. He requires my guidance, given his trusting nature, but I like his ambition too. Decent prowess, and a strong martial bent. Order to him. There is Fomric, 33 years old, a wandering magnanimous villain, forgiving, paranoid, and sadistic. A tough soldier and a defender. Perhaps. I think it is these who will join me, at least to start with. Gang members they were, companions they shall be. We will become wondrous. And right now, I am skilled at bartering and growing in that. Avaricious, yes. Old obligations. And demand payment for it. Of course, why would I not? No player out, that must be solved at some point, but I am young yet. Contract available. Collect taxes or hunt criminals. Oh, there is a criminal contract here. All travellers within as subject of Westmoreland. Mind all the punishments. What we're doing requires you to complete an intrigue scheme. If you succeed, you will be able to test your intrigue agent officers. Stealing. Maybe not. What are the others? Collect taxes. Could do that. Hunt criminals. What I really want to do. More depends on proving that its characters are not paying their fair share of taxes. Stewardship skills. Yes, we will. Render unto Ethelred. Earl Ethelred's representative is swift to appoint the city of Grimsby has, it seemed, failed to pay an extra tax imposed by the good Earl. The residents have resisted further demands, but not quite marched into open revolt just yet. Ethelred wants his due, but is cautious of the potential costs of outright rebellion. A neutral third party is a convenient fiction for browbeating the recalcitrant Von Reeve Ethelwald into submission. We move as one. As I said, we stick together with those I use. And I will take a real life break and come back to that later. Right, let's set out, shall we? Not abandoning the contract. Render unto Ethelred, to the gates. Mr. Sigrid, welcome. Rise, leave the wall. As my party and I enter the city. In short order, I am introduced to the other magnates of the town. Edelwine, Boniface, and Eagle. We are sure that you will agree with us when we say this simply cannot afford the extra fees. Our liege lord, Reeve Ethelwald, Woodlower. Trolls. You're both called Ethelwald. His delivery is smooth and even. The word of either an honest man or a very consummate liar. Start with you, Ethelwald. Ethelwald's quarters in the city. Ethelwald's quarters as the city's reeve are surprisingly extensive. He leads me to a room that clearly serves conferences of the settlement's most important people, seating me at the head of his table. Honourable mistress, surely you must see that the Earl's avarice is misplaced. He has vested you with his authority. Help us in this matter, and we will see to it that the world knows of your generosity. As he speaks, my mind flicks back to the large chest of what seemed to be silver we passed by along the way. We could take the coin, but I don't want to do that. Gonna look through. Good chance of success. Go over everything, less chance of success. Let's look through his financial records. We pore over Reeve Ethelwald's notes, receipts, and what witnesses he can scrounge up on short notice, relating to his dealings at great length. It doesn't take much effort to prise from him the truth. Something that he seems near-terminally surprised by. May I look whole for the next one. Onwards to Edelwine's properties. Edelwine leaders source of his wealth. A well-stocked armoury, smithy attached, that provides weapons and ammunition for the militia and passing caravans alike. Do I make my fair share? Yes, of course. But that's just it. My share, it's my share. I pay the taxes I'm obligated to, but this isn't a proper tax. It's just some pointless whimsy of the Earl, and we all know it is. He keeps chatting, but I cannot seem to forget the well-stocked kitchen we walked past on the way here. I don't think I want to do that. It'd be nice to get some... Oh, we're not right now. Let's try to catch him out in a lie. Our conversation lasts for well over an hour, going over and over and over every last little remote detail of Edelwine's dealings in Grimsby, where they happened, who with, and how much was earned, so on. Despite our best attempts, he seems utterly beyond reproach, an attitude that is entirely too smug about. Hopefully we'll do better on the next one. Let's try something else. Memphis' business revolves around storing and procuring food, both exotic and bulk fare. The commoners get cheap cereals in time of need. The local elite have someone to go to for fashionable foods from the distant capital. I know. It seems like we're doing well for ourselves. But this is hardly the first extra duty the Earl has put on us this year. Nor would I suspect be the last. You must understand our reluctance. He talks as we walk. And I can't help but notice us pass the storeroom, packed with luxuries. Stewardship challenge? Possible outcome 64%. You find what you're looking for, look through the financial records. We pour over Semphus notes, receipts, and what witnesses you can scrounge up. It doesn't take much to prise the truth from him, something he seems to be eternally surprised by. We shall see if Isle is hiding anything. Seems Isle controls a small jail, earning his wealth by keeping debtors, vagrants, and criminals locked up on others' behalf. A tidy sum in fees and fines from the confined supplements. The operation. I know. It seems like we're doing well for ourselves, but yeah, we've heard that. He keeps chatting, but I cannot seem to forget the well-stocked kitchen. Not worried about that. Look through financial records, try to catch middle eye. We pour over Elle's notes, receipts, and what? Yeah, we find, don't we? With that, we follow every lead we have. There's only one thing left to do. I've made my decision. We gather in Rethelwald's chambers, a suitably dramatic place to render my verdict with the Earl's word behind me. This will be binding, one way or another. Wine, Semphus and Ale all wait for announcement of their fate with bated breath. While Ethelwald seems nervous for the first time since my arrival. My gut tells me they genuinely lack the coins. Pay, and my investigations have largely borne that out. Make them pay in full. Success, qualified success, or failure. Doesn't give me odds on that, but they're not bad apart from failure. Who pay half just gives a smaller amount. Or they cannot afford it. Lots of prestige, decent gain in provisions, but Ethelred loses. You know what? I don't mind being his muscle. Real painful. I have enough evidence on my side to make for a compelling case that the locals can afford their most recent bill, as they laid out the defeated, world-weary sigh from all around to tell me the Reeve and his followers know it. Stop, please, waves Ethelwald resignedly. You've made your point clearly enough. We'll pay the earliest due. Of course, the town will suffer for this. We fight heavily, but then such is life. Indeed it is. They all lose a lot of opinion of me, that's fine. A nose for profit. While out on a leisurely stroll, a cry of a particular merchant stands out from the regular hustle and bustle of the streets. Greetings, my lady. I have an exquisite assortment of wares. If mistress has a coin. Merchant's stall is positively brimming with baubles, haberdasheries. As a skilled purveyor of fine wares, a couple of trinkets catch my eyes. In the overflow of knickknacks. Feel lucky. The stewardship lose 3, you'll lose 50. Detail of this bauble intrigues me. Don't need to worry about stress right now. Oh, that cuts out a lot of good stuff. It basically minimizes what you can have happen. Let's move on. No, I feel lucky. The haggling skill proved to be excellent. Gain 100 stewardship points. Nice. You can make the quest with Ethelred, or we can. There's nothing here right now. Ice Treasury. Contract requires you to complete an intrigue scheme. I don't really do intrigue. So let us move new contracts. Oh, crimes of passion while we move. Rounding a little cluster of tents as I leave my pavilion, I come across a gaggle of followers having dinner around a small hearth. Cautiously, both Pomeric and Sigrid are among them, neither of whom particularly enjoy one another's company. Before I have time to ponder such a strange quirk of seating, Sigrid mutters something inaudible, only for a whisper to send Pomeric into a blind rage. With a flash, a weapon is drawn, and blood is about to be spilled. Diplomacy challenge. 50% chance of getting it right. 50% chance of them both disliking me. Let's intervene. We put a halt to this. Gained opinion of me. Good. Moving the camp. The camp. So we leave these shores, at least for now. Who knows, we may be back. Heading for Rouen, a far land to France. Contracts available. Advise you to transcribe a manuscript through 3 learning skill challenges. Could try that. Pause while we look. Lead a martial scheme. That might be possible. Oh, learning. No, I wouldn't do a learning one. Not a learning challenge, definitely. Which leaves us with a martial one. I had muscle. Sell swords of good repute. Count of gun. Venice urgently seeks discreet swords for hire for a short posting. And some reward offered. Swift, clean work. We will risk it, I think. And it is a risk. And Marshall is only 12. It's our stewardship and our prowess stood on the top. Of travels to come. Journeying through here, I pass a peculiar looking tent. Displayed open, with yet more peculiar looking occupant within. Come on in, oh mighty mistress. I can tell you have many miles to go, and I offer you a reading of your future travels for a modest price. We do have money. The strange man has piqued the interest of my entourage. But am I willing to pay for a reading? Gain 25 stress as a greedy. Chance of losing more stress. Yeah, that's not worth it. Come experience the future with me, why don't you? That is more useful. Martial contest. As we pass through a market in Montreal-sur-Mer, we hear a loud yell and stumble into an ongoing tussle between two men, tightly observed by a group of people. The crowd cheers profusely as one of them is swept off his feet, face planted solemnly in the dirt, thus concluding the match. Who's next? Man yells. Crowd. His eyes land on our group. My side. I'll make snorts in response to the challenge. Seems like it's time to leave. Elric's not going to do anything there. My needs are simple, explained Rudolph. There are certain thorns in the rose of Calais, and I would have you remove these. Particular characters. I can't be seen to remove them directly, so you're going to have to deal with them for me. I draw a thumb across my neck quizzically. Oh no, clarifies my employer. No serious bloodshed. We just keep them silent without killing them, till they understand what it is to disrespect a count. Seems simple enough. Success chance currently -8. Just get on with our task. Remember, we're here to earn. Get a bodyguard. Let's add Elric to muscle. Footpad. Outcast. Come on, you'll do. And while I'm at it, let me have a look at my court. But the lame, 43. Fearless villain. Magnanimous villain at 33. Maybe time to look to take someone to the bed. Club-footed, I don't think that would befit our children. Ray Eminence. Oh, you have 3 on Marshall. 1 Marshall. Wise man. Perhaps the wisdom could persuade me that here lies a potential suitor. Travails of a cook. I don't think we're being unreasonable, snacks Cook, who presumably drew the short straw and coming to speak to me, waving an arm dismissively at the surrounding terrain all the while. Plenty of farms here, even if they're not great ones. It cannot be that hard for us to pause briefly and stock up on some of the little luxuries that make our food bearable. I sigh, weary of the conversation already. I wonder which of us will break first. Yes, our provisions are perhaps a bit below where I'd like them, but there's little cause for such alarm. Probably find something that's not that useful. Stocking. Yeah, we have a lot of provision, really. No, it's not in the budget. Success 3%. A well-oiled machine. Our little forest of tents putting itself up every few evenings is something we've gotten very, very good at of late. First one, then another, with people and tools spreading out down the lines to help their neighbours. A model of speed and efficiency. Even Simon and Emmerich, neither of whom have historically seen eye to eye, are helping one another. A place for everything and everything in its place. To see them, good to see them getting along. Agreed. Now, my tent may be a barber's tent. Baggage tent. Mess tent. Roaring campfire. 100 nights plus 1 night effective by not a lot. And hours plus 1. Proving grounds. Oh, starving soldiers, that's not good. A figure stumbled into camp, dirty and tired, clearly in need of a square meal. His name is Sensual, he says. That's more like me, he gestures off into the distance. All of us left to rot after every petty conflict ends. Our swordams work as well as ever. Their lot is to wander and starve. We're the only ones left who won't rob the vulnerable for food and value. His eyes glint with determination. Despite his haggard bearing, I'd rather die. Bit moral for my liking, but possibly. We'd lose 20 provisions. Possible chance that we could use another blade. Yes, I think we'll take that. We'll have him join the camp. Camp perimeter. Moving ground. Boring campfire. Best tent. We'll get a supply tent with. And in the scheme here, Not very good. We'll put you in potential footpath. Improve our chances. Current success 23%. And we have 3 bonuses. %. More bonuses. Plenty in common. Life in close quarters tends to magnify relationships, good and bad. Fortunately for Emmerich and Simon, their common interest in letting go of their hatred and forgiving their trespassers has proven to be a strong bonding agent. The two laughing and joking together at camp and riding alongside each other on the roads is becoming an increasingly common sight. Good, encourage it. A strong band is always useful. Five scheme advantages, 48% chance, get some more going. Well, this is marked as an adult channel, so if you don't like it, look away. Scheme successful. As I draw close to Simon, I do not know whether to tear the clothes from his body or punch the reserved smile of his face. He kisses me, a challenge, and I drag him closer. Fitting riposte. The warring feelings in my chest are echoed by our bodies. We spend the night delivering both insult and bliss to each other. It's me again. And he has become my lover. Good. Every chance of having children then at that point. %. Once we're up to 10 advantages, we should be in a good place to succeed here. Supply tent completed. Fine. Good. Seven. We're at 68%. Like I said, 3 more and that'll put us high anyway. Adding the advantages and we should be good. Learning from the best. Two of my agents, Sigrid and Sentinel, seem to have found common cause in our plan beyond the basic goal. Impressed by his companion's skill with logistics, will, and leadership presence required to hired muscle, Sentinel has taken... I may have misread there. Impressed by his compatriot's skill with logistics, will, and leadership presence required to hired muscle. Not phrased well. Sentinel has taken to studying what Sigrid does differently to himself, and the hopes of improving his own skills. Harmless enough in theory, but it doesn't help our overall goal. That's fine. That's fine. Increase it. Learn. I can keep them going a long time, and that will only help me, won't it? We're at 8, and we're at 68%. Second in command. For some time now, the post of my second has lain vacant. Discontent with his state of affairs has finally bubbled over, enough that 3 candidates have stepped forward to offer themselves for the role. Simon, who offers to swear himself to me till his dying breath. Emmerich, who seems about ready to work himself into a stupor for me. And of course Sigrid, undoubtedly the best qualified in the camp for this role. Now, considering this from her perspective, I said this is roleplay. I have made Simon my lover, but he's not the best qualified for this, so I will not put him there. It's my lover, but that's not helping profit. Sigrid seems definitely the best. Put him there. Meanwhile, Simon, you could be that. Dominic, you can be the caravan master. Stewardship perk is available. You can get experienced foragers when using the government provisions decision. Food haggler, cost of buying provisions, or well stocked. Let's go for the food. Maybe camp tax, domicile income plus 0.5% plus 0.5 per month. Refill men at arms gold cost is reduced. Meritocracy. Courtier. Let's get the camp tax on. Now, we put 3 in place. Storage. Consider it. That would leave fuel. Not that good. No, no. I really don't think I should put him on as anything. One more and then we can do this, I think. Execute scheme. And execute with confidence. Exceptional success. Count Rudolfo Guinness pays 65 to you. Gain 60 opinion of you. Gain 75 prestige. You add Count Rudolph to your roll of patrons. Gain a weak hook. You make progress in legacy of the atte Haven decision. You make progress in champion of the Swan decision. Gain 625 provisions. Now let me just check. And this is going to be another real life interruption, so I will be back. And with that, it's time to head back home. Well, not home, but we don't have a solid home, do we? Nor do we seek one just now. The world lies ready to be explored. Let's see what we have. Transcribe court thing. Code of faction. Bomber play. People are eager to encounter a true knight. Contractors in need of a real hero. Home versions for the leader. Not sure what that would offer us. What that would require. peasants of every stripe. The count is fed up with Duke Godfrey's Nestor's rule. He sends open invitations to all who oppose Duke Godfrey to join the Liberty faction. Well, there is liberty, there is chaos. We don't really have anywhere contributed right now, so that's not much point. Same with the other faction. Let's try and perform a play, why not? Able to accept. Perform a play. Market Square of Amiens is busier than ever, with a troupe of singers doing preparations. Wooden sword? One of the children leans over Ace, making disgusted face. Willamette, that's enough, Count Berenger urges her to return to his side. I told you I would find a real hero for the play, and look who just turned up. Berenger looks directly at me. An easy windfall, wouldn't you say? You just need to impress these peasants. Make it an easier one. Sooner the better, phase length. Oh, this ought to be fun. Let's just do it easy. Let's make it an easier windfall. Why is intrigue and diplomacy? But diplomacy, you don't have intrigue. You have intrigue, but bit of diplomacy. Alright. Intrigue and diplomacy. Diplomacy, intrigue and learning. Of learning are plenty. Musician, diplomacy and learning. Socialite, diplomacy, intrigue and learning. Got intrigue. Don't really have either of the others. You can do that, Sigrid. Diplomacy and learning are not that high. You've got better intrigue, so you can do that. Meanwhile, at the same time, let's start swaying you. Player air yet. Still wanderers. And where's the lifestyle? Where's inventory? We have a pot herd. Certainly take that. Oh yes, I added the skill, didn't I? Perk. Minus 9%. Potential 79%. Style following. These two are going to war, are they? Non-ideal. isn't there. We're getting there. Take a little while. Five advantages. Nice. $47. A family clamour. It's tough to describe what's appealingly intimate about the low buzz of a camp settling in for the evening. Naturally, another camp building. Maybe it's a parade of new faces eager for escape from settled life, enthusiasm that comes with camping under an open sky, or even the humming along to himself as he walks past. All of this forms a quiet, comforting blanket of familiarity. This is my domain and these are my people. Small kingdom. One where I know every sight, sound and soul. I don't need to worry about relieving stress. I will check on the stores instead. End scheme advantage. It looks like that's maxed out, so yeah. Execute the scheme. Execute with confidence. 84% chance of success. Gain 150 prestige. Gain Count Manager second added to your roll of patron. Make progress in Legacy of Haven decision. You make progress in the Champion of the Swan decision. You gain 312 position. Nice. And then she slew a ferocious wolf. Drums grew louder as I make my way through the stage, trying to remember every last play that I've ever watched. With my weapon lifted over my head, I attack the colourful puppet. The head rolls off the stage and the audience erupts in loud cheering. Hitting on an elevated dais, Count Berenger nods. Long path ahead of us, let's go. Make our way back. I don't see transcription as a thing we can reasonably do. Regale the court. Speak of West. This was larger. Rancian and worldly affairs. And no reward. All with tales to tell are cordially invited. We'll do that. We've had some minor travels. A strange sailor. I find myself spending the evening in a local tavern, swapping stories with a talkative old sailor, Assen Falfart. You tell a man's tale, mistress, he laughs, putting off another one of my stories. Look at me, all missing leg. Why, my ship once had a leak to plug it dead, and I'd no else to plug it with but that. What's the glory days, mistress? Oh yes, he finds. And I long to live them again. We have money aplenty. Need of an old sail round camp. Able to accept contracts. The Hermit. A grotto emerges from the vegetation like a stone arch in a cathedral. On its entry, there is a small wooden table and a stall. Someone has left a lantern burning on it. Careful, my lady. Emmerich holds his arm up in front of my chest. Are bandits in these lands? You're quick to make accusations. A dimly illuminated figure stands in the entrance of the cave. I'm merely a hermit. And you, well, you carry the title of mistress. Leave a prophecy? Go ahead, tell me the future. The hermit takes a second before replying. He gets up and waits until I follow. There's some herbs scattered around and what seems to be a rudimentary bed. He turns to me when we're away from my entourage and with oddly deeper voice replies, "You shall find that who seeks." How insightful. A bloody thing, but okay. Night by the campfire. Long after night has settled, I find myself laughing, telling stories and drinking with my caravan master Emmerich, my champion Sigrid, and my lover Simon. I didn't know he had it in him, but Emmerich ends up telling a particularly ribald story about 4 peasants he had seen in Rouen. After drying my eyes from laughter, drinking a bit to clear my throat, I will ask Emmerich to tell another story. Danger sticks in the wheel. Bank! I hear Sentinel shout out in panic. Soon thereafter, I hear a loud cracking sound, like that of wood breaking or my patience finally snapping. I step out of the mud, see the splintered remains of a wagon wheel. My wagon wheel. I'm sorry, my leader. It was my turn to be a lookout. I fell asleep at the reins. You're late. Shuffle the supplies around. Oh, we're going to be late. Oh well. It happens. The gale in Count Bernard's court. It's not uncommon for settled rulers like Bernard to play host for notable travellers like myself. For a few gifts and decent lodgings, wanderers such as ours provide entertainment, intelligence, and a suitable distraction from his many courtiers. Of course, that's if my followers and I can earn our keep with our tales. Max out 40. Let's improve that then. Need intrigue and diplomacy. Intrigue. Some diplomacy sent to. Poet, diplomacy, intrigue and learning. Simon, you're great with learning. Musician, diplomacy and learning. Think about it, you can play for us. Socialite. Diplomacy, intrigue, and learning. Humoric. Means you aren't adding much hasten, but you can add this. A faithful visitor. The campfire crackles, illuminating a figure entering our circle. He moves with vigour despite the lateness of the hour, hand wrapped around a walking stick. Those standing guard are already intercepting, but I wave them away. Do you have a place for a man of God? Smiles at me, hopefully. Dirty clothing rustling in the stiff breeze. Wandering, Gozi, sorry. A Gozi maybe, but not a Gozi of us through faith. That much I can tell. A few of my fellow believers shuffle their feet comfortably as they make the same realization. We could do with a man of such worldliness. His plans far beyond the camp. He gained 13 success. I can afford that. Diplomacy challenge. I don't really have good. You can't just sit a night and tell us your stories. Distant shores and far off climes. Being both Norse and atte, and my alien way of life is endlessly fascinating to Count Bernard's courtiers. Many of them have never seen one of my kind before. Perhaps they never will again. We move on. But I cannot say how history will play out. They are not exactly polite in their opinions, but that just makes them all the easier to goad and so entertaining. I'll tell you about the Norse. Gain 75-6% chance. The opinion. That's true as a mysterious thing. Less chances, yes. So, paint you a picture. Horrible chances, yes. Let me tell you about Norse living. Stories and glories. Dinner at Count Bernard's court is an ideal time to impress his courtiers with my dashing escapades. The happier they are, the fatter my purse is likely to be. Of course, this calls less for subtle wit and more for stories of grand endeavours, replete with heroism and villainy, accurately or otherwise. I know a few such tales. Or intrigue challenge, 57%. All stories grow in the telling. These are charming words in column. Just tell a few tales. Deeds are charming, beautiful. Ins and outs. As we trudge down the road, a building hoves into view. The battered sign outside reads the Ebon Horse Inn. No luck here tonight. We've barely got room for our current lodgers. On anyone new. Inside, the innkeeper shakes her head dismissively. Especially not for you ragtag types. Ragtag. We'd absolutely require a place to stay. Surely we can come to an arrangement. 15 gold. Right, people. Not the greediest option on the board, but still. a volunteer. During our stay at Count Bernard's court, we have done our best to meet our remit of entertaining and occupying his retainers. Seems we have done our job a little too well, as several of the courtiers have previously approached me, asking to take on with our camp. Emlyn is most keen, but Bernard and Marie are not far behind him. Doubtless Count Bernard would not allow all three to depart. He is a rapacious antagonist, 41 opinion. Oh, 41 years old, sorry. Ambitious, vengeful, honest, tough soldier. Or Bernard. African bishop. Novice physician. Astute intellectual. Trusting. Chaste. Greedy. Could be useful. Or Marie. Spy master. So how is she the spy master? Have you seen the intrigue? Stewardship perk. On the road, move domicile speed increased. Putting costs, refill men at arms. We'll take on the road, we'll increase our movement speed. That could be useful if we go to places of interest. You can get up to 80%. Get a barber's tent. Use health penalties and pressure. What's the point? Person has stopped bathing. Stopped even making an attempt to clean himself even. A fact I am brutally confronted with when several of my followers beg me to deal with him. I know what you're thinking, mistress, but it's not laziness. It's a drive for efficiency. I can actually do more work if I spend less time wiping away the sweat of the road. This is what relentless focus on value looks like. Ah, door cool, or both. It's an appealing argument, but I think not. Oh, what? Clean your act up. Burning at both ends. It's clear that my lover Simon is sincerely putting his all into my Regale Court campaign. Contract. Dedicating sleepless nights and long days to our goal. Perhaps it is cruel of me to use one who is so dear to me, so certainly I cannot say I would like to be used so. Still, he is effective for a good cause. could do more, so thought as much more. Rest a while, Simon, then get back on the job. Pace yourself, man. More useful to keep you stay long term. Execute with confidence. Regaling Count Bernard's court success. Exceptional success. Pays 26 to you, gains 60 opinion view, 225 prestige. At Count Bernard, weak hook, and 312 divisions. Bernard's courtiers have practically swooned over my party and I these past months. Day after day, night after night, we've filled their heads with fantastical stories and our bellies with rich fare, leaving the good Count more than satisfied with our performance. Still, all good things must come to an end. Best for us to leave on a high note and path ahead of us. Let's head home. Gained a level of fame. First pursuit. As I am looking through the market stalls and mantas, I find my purse string cut. Despite my immediate reaction, the thief disappears in the crowd. Only through pure coincidence, one of my guards sees the man as he heads into a back alley. "Stop, or I'll have your head!" And my guard shouts at him. He turns around, giving us an angry, shifty stare. Grow the camp. But I think in this particular case, if you're stealing from me, I have to take you down. Make an example of you. Once again, the wanderlust begins to strike. Let us hit the road. Go see it. Lotharingia somewhere. Perhaps the capital. A knight errant. It is known that people above seem to profess a special devotion toward the knights in their legends. "Mistress," the knight says, bowing his head, "it's most fortunate that you and I came to meet at this crossroad, for I am in search of marvellous fountain, which water is said to cure all illness. If you are to help me in my quest, I shall pay homage to you." Bernard is quickly interrupted. "Wait, my lady, I know this knight, it's Nicholas." "We can delay, no problem. Well, nice armor there you have. Care to share a coin? He could pay 50. Or he could join us." "Let's follow him. I'm intrigued." The knight leads us to a small clearing where a natural fountain glimmers. The light reflects on its surface with a blissful shimmer, and it makes the water look so bright that it feels like a second sun. "Careful, a beast, a guardian." Knight points to the stag, standing between us and the fountains. "You know what? I'll find it. And we kill the beast." Mercenaries of Wrestle. We sit in a quiet tavern in Wrestle when a loud band of ragged-looking sellswords comes barging in. Their brutish leader pushes one of my guards aside and audaciously sits down at my table. "A noble woman, eh, my lady? Interesting in the interesting services of the best band of necromancers, mercenaries in Wrestle. More loyal men you'll never find. First, you got my attention. Army of 600. Perfect job for you. Plus 20, you'll appoint a bodyguard. That duty's excellent. I'm not worried about stress right now, although it is building some. Point him as the bodyguard. Night attack. It is night when the attackers fall on our perimeter. A motley flash of glinting armour and flashing weapons, lit only by distant firelight. If they're wearing any colours, then they're not visible, but their intent is clear enough all the same. Movers from Rethel, dead or alive. The camp is not without defenders though. With a cry of outrage we are prepared to push back this local scourge. Chaos. Into the fray, into the fray. Bloodied and broken. Gained wounded, always gained wounded. Yeah. As we prepare to set off in the morning, I lost wounded, good. As we prepare to set off in the morning, I see my lover Simon stand outside the camp all alone. As I walk over to talk to him, I notice a change in the wind. A warm wind rustled the clothes for a second, and I notice a pleasant sunlight shining down on the camp. Signs warmer days to come. It's about time for supper again, eh? Take a moment to... To the capital of the kingdom of Lotharingia. In 150 diplomacy lifestyle, in 3 trade experience in wanderer travel. And from there, we'll look further. Thanks for joining me, and we are in the new kingdom. Take off there.